The Second Amendment doesn't exist, at least according to a judge in New York City. You heard me right. And I want to get into that. Every once in a while, I'm scrolling through. I'm trying to find a story. Okay, what pertains to us? What can we talk about? What's something I can pour into? And I was having troubles because cover that tomorrow. Nah. But then you find something like this, and this was posted April 23rd, so 2 days ago. Hobby gunsmith in New York City convicted after judge declares Second Amendment doesn't exist in her courtroom. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So what happened? Dexter Taylor, 52, as reported by SCNR.com, Scanner News. Dexter Taylor is a software engineer by day, but had begun manufacturing weapons in his spare time. Basically, this guy figured out, oh, cool, I can buy the parts, I can put it together, I can make a gun, because I like guns and tanks and planes and stuff. Literally his words. So what did he start doing in his spare time? He started building guns. Well, of course, a joint operation raided his home because ghost guns and untraceable. No crime committed. No accusations of crimes. They didn't even cite that, well, he had some social media posts that were kind of weird. No. Truly, the guy was a hobbyist. Is a hobbyist. And they decided, well, no, we can't let that happen. Now, the judge, Abena Darkeh, told them, as per the defense lawyer, said, she told us, do not bring the Second Amendment into this courtroom. It doesn't exist here, so you can't argue Second Amendment. This is New York. I'm not a big fan of the 14th Amendment. I think it's kind of a trash amendment. I think it was poorly worded. It was too vague. I could go at length. There's plenty of amendments I have problems with. However, this judge, I'm guessing your side has used the argument of the 14th Amendment and the power of the federal government to overrule the states. And the funniest thing is, oh, well, that right in the Bill of Rights doesn't exist in our state. So what you're telling me is the Bill of Rights does not exist in your courtroom. In other words, this man has no rights unless you grant those rights to him. Or are you being selective? This is insanity. This judge should be disbarred. This judge should be removed. This judge should possibly be thrown in jail for treason. Why not? Going extreme. The idea that a judge can sit and look at lawyers with a straight face and tell the entire courtroom the Second Amendment doesn't exist here is ludicrous. Could you imagine her saying, the First Amendment doesn't exist here. The Fourth Amendment doesn't exist here. The Fifth Amendment doesn't exist here. Now, mind you, if you don't know the Bill of Rights, you're not familiar with it, what's the First Amendment? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to peaceably assemble, freedom of address of grievances, freedom of the press. What about the Fourth Amendment? The right to not have illegal search and seizure, unreasonable search and seizure. What about the Fifth Amendment? Speedy trial, right? Not incriminate yourself. The gall of somebody to step in front of a courtroom, part of the judicial system, and to look somebody square in the face and say, you're committing a crime because that right doesn't exist in my courtroom. There are no words. And I pray that somebody would step up in this legal system in New York and say, okay, I don't necessarily agree with gun rights, but you just crossed the Rubicon. And we can't allow this. Now, that statement alone should give this guy plenty of access to the Supreme Court. He should. Take it to the Supreme Court. It's time. We've had other gun trials go to the Supreme Court. Now's the time. Do it. Now, it's easy for me to say because I'm sitting here commentating in my office with my camera. So It takes money, it takes time, it takes sacrifice, it takes a lot of pressure against you. And I commend this guy for taking on this case. He didn't have much of a choice, but keep going, brother. And more power to him to keep going. New York, you're insane. And if you're living in New York, I'm sorry. Especially if you don't vote for this type of crap. We'll keep an eye on it. I am interested to see, does this end up in the Supreme Court? Because that statement, which is now on the record, shows the judge her motive, her position. I can't. What do I even say about it? Anyways, if you guys like this type of content, please, by all means, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Love you guys. Have a great day.